Awesome. Ready to go, guys. Thank you.
It's all very painless, isn't it? It's all very painless. The world that we live in now with cameras and...
I know.
Yeah. Do you remember the old days with a dictaphone?
Dictaphones.
Do you remember?
And faxes and telefaxes.
Yeah.
Is it telefaxes?
Yeah.
Those sort of things, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I used to do that.
But even for me, it's nuts, because when we did school dinners, that was 13 years ago, there was no Facebook, no Twitter, no social media.
No.
That was 376,000 handwritten signatures.
Wow.
About 1 million trees, probably. But I had a van of paper that went to number 10.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so that's 13 years. So the kind of, even my kids are like, really? What? No Twitter? I'm like, this is like new.
So 20 years and 20 cookbooks. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah.
And this one was something that you just suddenly decided that you were going to completely do, spur of the moment. Was it a sort of sitting on your sun lounger kind of thing?
No, I think I'd witnessed a bunch of things that just kind of like felt that they were kind of focusing on simplicity, and I'd seen some work that I'd done a number of years ago for a few magazines that were just 5 ingredients, and we did it as a lovely story, and it kind of worked, and I kind of was annoyed with myself that I'd never picked up on it for more than just like 6 recipes in a mag 1 week, you know. Actually, this is a book, and weirdly, like when it comes to sort of a book, like a book's a thing, it's like a little world, you know, and it's sort of, the beautiful thing is it starts and finishes in the book. It's not endless, or it's not a bit of everything, it's a thing. So whether it's, you know, in the past we've done like Save for Jamie, and it's all about budget, or 15-minute meals and it's all about speed, like this became about what I believe now is to be the biggest block to people cooking from scratch or not, and that's, have I got it, and can I remember to get it without having to do some arduous list. So yeah, and I think on the other side, like now I've got to a certain age, I think I've always been quite a emotional, sort of instinctive person, but I think after from my 30s to my 40s, like it's been a real selection of like massive successes and failures, and I think, and when I got to 40, I was really honest about, I knew what was going to go wrong. Deep down, I knew, and that whole thing about follow it, like gut feeling and like listening to yourself. I know it's a bit cheesy and a bit soft and romantic, but that was this. So I completely changed this year, because I was determined to learn from the last 10 years and just do it, just go for it, and it doesn't matter what, just go for it. So I think timing's really important. You know, this book is about now. It's not about 10 years ago. It's not about 15 years ago. I think it's relevant more now than ever.
People have changed, haven't they? The shopping has changed.
Yeah.
You don't buy big, long, sort of go to shops and do big,
I think shopping
big shops.
has changed.
Yeah.
And then you throw people like Deliveroo in the equation, where pre-packed food's gone in, where supermarkets, delivery supermarkets, the choice of supermarkets, farmers markets, it's all changed, actually in quite weird, wonderful and robust ways. I think they've all got better. They've all got better. And then with technology, we're changing as well, like switching off. When do we stop? I'm always available. And so I think that, for me, no matter what happens with humans' passion to multitask, get more done, and technology and science, I think like, I believe, not because I'm a chef, but I think I really, really believe that turning a pile of ingredients into a wonderful meal and loving someone through cooking is grounding. I think it's grounding. With all this lovely stuff, all this lovely things that we can have, like it's kind of like a little bit of 1,000 years ago that we can take part in. And so therefore, if you're really passionate about that, and I am, it's about, well, what are the stepping stones to success?
And it's trying to make people cook better with fewer ingredients and fresher ingredients, and actually just talk about working on your chopping and your tossing. You talked about tossing. Yes.
Technique and the life skill of the life skill that will forever, you know, if you don't do your geography homework, you don't die 11 years young. If you don't know nothing about food, if you know nothing about nutrition, if you can only like randomly pick stuff which environmentally is largely the wrong thing. You know, our environmental, the reason we're getting fat and unhealthy is because it is too easy to make the wrong decision, not the right. And that will hopefully change. But like, so for me, like, getting people, the most precious thing is getting on the journey of food.
Yeah, and simplifying it.
Yeah, so this for me is the stepping stone to get on it.
Yeah.
And then you'll buy other books and you'll find other people and then your own personal views will come out, and that's truly important. But I think, you know, like in 20 years, like the 10 and 15-year-olds that watched me 20 years ago are now mums and dads. That's different, because I used to teach their dads. Like, it's changing, so timing's everything, tone's everything.
And what about, you talk about sort of like, sort of it being 75% healthy in the book as well, because that's a key thing as well. It's not just the long list of ingredients, it's shortening that, but sort of being healthy.
I think since Superfood and since studying and becoming a nutritionist, and I'm continuing that journey, and actually behind the scenes, that you'll probably never see, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but we're becoming more of a medical company, you know, and trying to join up and tell stories through amazing things that are coming out and research that's being done, and trying to use that through food and the voting of buying food to kind of make the world a better place. But that's another thing, that's another conversation. But I think nutrition, now I'm a nutritionist, that's it. I don't think you'll ever find a book that I ever do ever again that hasn't got the nutritionals clear there, front of pack. And maybe a lot of people won't use that. It doesn't matter. I've made it available. And I don't care. It's important that you eat cake. It's joyful, it's wonderful, it's marvellous. But I think humans are really clever. I think if humans have clarity, they often make good choices. So, you know, I haven't really got a problem with cake. It's when what looks like wholesome food or wholesome cereal or a wholesome drink is cake equivalently. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the problem. So for me, it's like, now I've done Superfood, now I've become qualified. I mean, even a scary thing, like I'm more qualified in nutrition than probably 95% of doctors. You can train for 7 years as a doctor and you can do no nutrition qualification.
So what about something like clean eating? What are your views on that?
Well, what is clean eating?
What is it, yeah.
But, I mean, it's an interesting one. I don't know if it's because I am a parent or I consider myself an old-timer on this world of publishing and broadcast. And as much as probably the same things annoy me as maybe annoy you about, you know, the South Beach diet or you know, clean eating or this or dirty eating or whatever. But at the same time, if I'm being devil's advocate, the machine, the matrix, which is press and papers and mags and now online and now, it's not that easy for good information to get out. They always want a twist. They always want a kind of bit of bullshit, you know? It's our problem. We created it, so we can't complain about these people that are kind of maybe not what they say they are or using a bit of bullshit to push something. I guess being philosophical, the upside is at least we're talking about it. And the more people talking about it, I think about food and what is good and what is bad, I think that's healthy. Being
more aware of ingredients, looking at the packets, looking at sugar and fat content.
Because when it's out of sight and out of mind, massive misbehaviour happens, and a small handful of companies start structuring farming on the planet and selling most of the food on the planet. And it's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact. So, you know, if you want Coke to get better, then things like Sugar Rush and all the ripples that would come before or after it are important, and that's why they're getting better. The reason that McDonald's UK is probably doing more than most gastropubs in UK is because we expect more because of journalism in Britain. McDonald's UK is 100% organic milk, free-range eggs. I mean, that's we're to thank for that. So I think I really love the idea that actually through knowledge you have true choice, and through purchasing anything is a bit like a kind of a vote every day. Do you know what I mean? It's.
What about processed and convenience food? So they're two different things, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's where do you draw the line? I mean, flour's processed, but...
Yeah, that's true. But you talk about sort of like you're not averse to throwing a jar in here and there. Are there absolute no-nos?
I mean, like, look, I'm using Geeta's mango chutney now. I don't know Geeta. I've never met her in my life, but it's bloody good stuff.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's sort of there's probably 10 choices, and it's quite nice to support sort of random brands or this, that and the other. I think that's quite a nice thing. But also, we all have probably a Worcestershire sauce pot in our home. We all probably have a pack of pasta or a tin of tomatoes, or like, we're all probably, you know, wondering what to do, you know, with that harissa that we bought that sounds trendy, but we're not, it's chili sauce. Is it just chili sauce? What do I put, you know? So I think like, I think in a way through disarming and being real, people find that, like, I want to connect with people. I don't want them to think, oh, you a bloody chef. And I think if you look back 20 years at Naked Chef, you know, just the fact that I wasn't in a chef's jacket. And if you think the programs at the time had chefs in chef's jackets teaching you how to cook your weekend meal. The Naked Chef was me looking like a scruffy little over-enthusiastic brat, you know, who was about 2 years old, living in his first flat. And I believe subliminally that was powerful because men weren't cooking.
What about Bake Off? Because that's coming back, and you talk about baking for 5 ingredients. Do you watch Bake Off? Do you
love it?
Do you like it? Yeah.
Love it. You know, I think, you know, would it have got better on BBC? Or had it plateaued? Probably. You know, is it interesting that Channel 4 are going to do it? I'd say. Could they get it wrong? Yeah. Does the cast look good? Really good. So it launches, I think, next Tuesday. Yeah. And you know, the audience will decide very quickly. I think it's exciting, and I think ultimately. And
would you be on it?
No, look, I'm not on it, but I've always said to the powers that be, if you need me, I'll come and be useful. I mean, I used to be a pastry chef. I know my way around the kitchen. I know my pastry. If I've got something to offer or I've got a challenge to give, of course I'll do that. I mean, I'm quite busy. If it's a pop-up for half a day, I would, and to help the channel. I mean, also, I've been on the channel for 16 years. When you work on a channel, you want to be useful. And
what about, could you do that sort of standard of baking? You obviously could, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Fondant fancies?
I don't make fondant. I mean, I have my style.
Have you made fondant fancies?
No, look, I grew up making Anglo-French, Swiss, semi-Italian desserts.
Amazing.
And from the age of 8, when I started cooking, really unusually, my dad had a dedicated pastry chef. My dad's pub still is and was, probably even more so back in the day, famous for desserts, famous for the Great British Sweet Trolley. Everything made on, every pastry, every puff, every short crust, every Swiss, French, you know, Italian meringue. So, like, I know, my first job in London was head pastry chef for Antonio Colicchio. Okay. So, you know, I kind of know my way around it.
What about the future, Jamie? What going on? Because you say you're not finished yet. You're not even. You say that this is a fresh start and a new beginning for you. What would you like to do?
I've just started just saying it, and I'm putting it out there just because I can't qualify it. But I think, like, for me, the reason I'm working for the next 10 years is because I want to reduce childhood obesity by 50%. And I'm just putting it out there. And I think that anyone worth their mettle, I mean, to be honest, and I'm happy to be held to that, and I'm going to work to that, and that's the only reason I get up every day, whether it's through Chop and Chat or creative or documentary or whatever. But like, that really is, like, that's it. And I think any minister, any CEO of any food company should say the same thing, if they've got any balls, if they're worth any salt. So I'll see you in 10 years, and let's see if we can do it. But
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Really.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for talking to us, and good luck with everything going forward. And
thank you.
We'll definitely.
Enjoy the book, enjoy the series.
Thank you. Thank you.